Hello Employer, my name's King Pickle, and, Pixar just released a brand new animated film, Luca, and, it's a little rare in this more modern age of both Pixar and Disney that we actually get a new concept. Soul and Coco were both great, so maybe Luca can be great as well. So let's just get into the review, and I already forgot about Raya the Last Dragon. We're gonna have to review that movie first. Okay, let's begin. Raya and the Last Dragon is okay. It's above average. It's a fine kids movie. I guess we should go over the positives first. I really love the world building. I think it's just really cool. There's a lot of unique endemic life. The different plants and animals and cultures look neat. Also, I really enjoyed most of the side characters. I enjoyed, to an extent, the characters. I think Raya is a really well done main protagonist. I like the big barbarian guy. The child boat shrimp dealer is fine. He's tolerable. And then there's the baby three monkey pairing. And when I first saw this pairing, I thought they were just gonna be in one scene, and then they stuck around for the rest of the movie, and it kind of ruined the initially so absurd it's funny concept. Yeah, the characters are mostly well made. Waya has like this rival character, but I kind of wish they gave more time for them to develop their relationship. I mean, at the beginning of the story, we see the rival character betray Raya, and then it cuts to 6 years later, and they've sort of, like, established this, dynamic, and it's kind of weird, because it's a weird tonal shift. That one scene, they are literally trying to kill each other, to the next scene, where they're still fighting, but they're, like, more jokey about it. It's a little weird to me. So I guess I should go over the plot. There's this mythical world of, like, dragons and stuff like that. It's very southeastern Asia. And the 500 years ago, there's some Black Death plague cloud thing that was turning everybody into stone. But then the last dragon, this blue dragon, fucking grabbed a orb, and it saved the day. So now the world split off into 5 different tribes, and we follow the Heart tribe, who they have the orb in their possession, and they're also just so happen to be the most peaceful and prosperous nation. And then the other 4 nations kind of hate that, so they come in to try and raid it. And then the orb breaks into 5 pieces, and that leads to the Black Death coming back. So now Raya has to gather up all the 5 pieces, get the dragon back, get the 5 pieces, get the orb, save the day. It's a pretty standard, more MacGuffin style of plot structure. It was serviceable. It did the job fine enough. It was, let's get into, and I think it should go without saying, that for both Raya and Luca, the animation's beautiful. I think Luca looks a decent bit better, but Raya still looks great. And then, let's go into the negatives. Number 1 is the theme, not necessarily the theme itself, but how it's executed in the film. Essentially, it's a you have to trust people kind of theme. And it's kind of cool how Raya, her past experience, causes her to become like this jaded lone warrior, lone ranger, riding across the desert kind of thing. But the only problem is that through the lens of the actual plot, the trust people theme doesn't work, because Raya shouldn't trust anyone, because everybody in this in this world is trying to kill each other. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, we need someone to take the first step to get people to trust everybody more. So Wyatt trusts the rival character to put the orbs back together when they're sort of like faced by the plague cloud thing, but I thought that was kind of weird because the rival character didn't form the orb back together because Raya trusted her. She formed the orb back together because that's literally the only thing and has been established as the thing that can take down the Black Plague, so it just seemed like she would probably do it anyway. But yeah, the theme is kind of bad. It wasn't well executed. Disney's really trying to hammer home a lot deeper themes. Sometimes they work with Zootopia, other times they don't work with Frozen 2. I just think this is one of the times where it didn't work too well. And then the thing that really almost kills this movie for me is the fucking dragon character. I do not think we have had a obnoxious side character this bad since maybe the gargoyles in Hunchback of Notre Dame. She's played by Awkwafina. I think Awkwafina herself plays the role fine. It's just the lines are garbage. The screenplay in general in this movie is extremely bad. If you just look at the lines, it's trying to force a lot of this, like, modern sensibilities and, like, slang into a fucking, like, fantasy, Vietnamese, like, Eastern Asia, and it doesn't work. But yeah, the dragon character, is the most annoying garbage character. And the best part is, she means nothing to the plot, because they originally need the dragon character to form the orbs together. But it turns out, you don't. You just don't. So why did we go through the trouble to getting her in, like, the first act? I don't know. I don't get it. Overall, again, Raya the Last Dragon, it's fine. It's above average as far as kids' movies goes. Not one of Disney's best. Honestly, I think it's just a worse version of Moana. Moana is doing the same thing Raya does, where it's like, oh, it's a journey to get the thing to save the world kind of plot. But the difference is, Maui isn't the worst character in a Disney movie ever, unlike the Dumb Dragon, and also has a lot smaller of a cast, so they're able to focus a lot more on Moana, because Raya kind of seems a little bit underdeveloped herself. I feel like they really didn't want this movie. I think they didn't want anyone to see this movie, because they released it the same day as the finale to WandaVision. Not a smart idea. They barely marketed it, and they had it being sold for $30 initially. Why? Why would you do that? That's $30 for a mediocre animated movie, and like people didn't buy it. It's insane that Disney Plus has given us good movies for free, like Hamilton, fucking Soul. But then, when it comes to movies you have to actually pay money for, it's Mulan and Raya, a terrible movie, and then a mediocre to above average movie. But yeah, Raya was fine now that it's just included, and you can just buy it. You don't have to buy it on Disney Plus, you can just watch it with your subscription. I'll give it a 6 out of 9. It was fine. But take Raya and the Last Dragon, throw that out the goddamn window, because Luca was a really good film. I just really enjoyed it. Okay, so let's go over the basic plot. Luca is a fish sea monster creature. And he befriends Alberto, a fellow fish sea creature, who shows him that, hey, we can walk on land and crap. We can, because when they hop out of the water onto land, they just look like regular humans. But if they touch water, that part, wherever part of their body that gets wet, turns into a sea monster. I like this because the rules are very simple, and unlike unlike a lot of some other films, like, I don't know, Toy Story uh, or it never feels like the adults or the human characters in this movie are like blind. They cleverly disguise themselves pretty well, in my opinion. This is probably the best looking Pixar movie. Coco might have something to say about that. But yeah, it looks very vibrant. It's set in Italy. Some people may be disappointed because when you hear a Pixar movie set in Italy, you think of how well incorporated how well they put, how vibrant, I guess, or how real it, or how good the sort of world cultural aspect of films like Brave and Coco. And it doesn't give me the same vibe as those movies. Like, you could theoretically put this movie in most other parts of the world, and it wouldn't change much. Well, something like Coco, it needs to be set in Mexico. But honestly, I don't have that much of a problem with it. A lot of people may be disappointed in this film if they're expecting a masterpiece. Like, again, Pixar obviously has a reputation of just, like, fucking making you cry your eyes out. With, the Toy Story films, Coco, Inside Out, movies like that. And it kind of puts heavy expectations on a lot of their other films, and a lot of their other films fail and just aren't good. But especially because of the reputation Pixar has built, they're even worse. I will stand by the fact that Cars 2 and The Good Dinosaur are fine movies, but because they are Pixar movies, they are treated as, like, garbage. Luca isn't trying to be like Coco or Inside Out, and that is okay. It is fine to just have a fun movie. It doesn't have to change the viewer's perception of the world. Sometimes movies can just be fun to watch, and this movie is very fun to watch. I just really like the characters are all great. Meanwhile, there's a side plot. Essentially, Luca and Alberto, they think, oh, we can just, like, buy a moped, or, it's not a moped, they say what it is, like, 500 times in the film. The motorcycle bikes. You know what I'm talking about. So that they can just, like, travel the world, and they meet, a fun cast. There's just a lot of fun side characters that don't take up too much screen time, and when they are just developing the, they don't overstay their welcome. Julia is a great character. I like how she fits into the trio. She's essentially a main character. Her father is just peak design. The villain. Sometimes you don't need a reality-breaking twist villain or whatever. In this movie, the villain is just a dick. And that's okay. He's a scumbag who beats people in triathlons for fun. So yeah, that's another part of the plot. Luca, Alberto, and Julie are like, oh, okay, we can compete in this triathlon, and then we can get a bunch of money to buy our moped. It's not what it's called. I'm gonna keep on calling it that. So yeah, they do enter it, but along the way, Alberto becomes jealous of how close Luca is getting to Julie, and eventually it makes sense, but for a while it definitely seems like they're just forcing a conflict in there. But eventually it's like, oh, okay, his dad left. It makes sense eventually, but for a while it just seems kind of forced. And then they do the triathlon. Luca wins. And goes off and realizes that he doesn't actually really want to explore the world. Maybe it's fine to just stay in one place, and he goes with Julia to go off to school. Well, that's cool. The themes in this movie are a lot better than Raya, because it's a simpler plot. It's not trying to force this, like, goddamn, like, 5-tribe global geopolitical conflict or whatever. It's just a simple plot, and it uses the themes a lot more effectively. Like, for instance, sometimes you gotta show the world who you truly are. And the movie says blatantly, sometimes people won't like that, but what you gonna do about it? That's a great theme to teach the kids. And then also, I guess the other theme is about how sometimes you and your friends will go down different life paths, and again, that's okay. There's also a lot of pasta in this movie, and it made me really want to order pasta, but I realized it was 1 a.m., so when I finished watching this movie, so I didn't get any pasta. So honestly, I might have to give this a 1 out of 10. Yeah, it's a great movie. Just fun, simple. There's a side plot about the mom and dad trying to track down the kids, and I thought that was gonna be kind of but actually no, it's fun because they reason, oh yeah, we just have to get every child wet, and then we'll figure out which one is our son. So they just like kind of run around and like grab a kid, just dunk them into the water fountain, completely like to a point where the children are in fear of these two adults. Sometimes they'll just chase children with buckets of water. It's fun. It wasn't as funny as I think a lot of other Pixar movies are, but the pieces of humor that they did throw in there were kind of cute. It was cute. It was charming. Well done. Like, for instance, there's this one bit where the mom-dad character are chasing around kids, and then there's, like, a poster that says, like, it's like a movie poster with a guy, like, taking out a sea monster, and the dad just goes, Luca, at the poster. It's fun. It's fun when it wants to be, funny. It can be funny. It just doesn't have as many joke attempts as something like Monsters, Inc. or The Incredibles, which is fine. Again, I guess the overall theme of these two movies, or what I really want to get across with my individual views of both Raya and Luca, is that Raya tries to do a lot, does a little, kind of the West. Luca doesn't try to do as much, but really succeeds at pretty much everything it does. Again, Luca, great film. It's free on Disney Plus, so you can go ahead and get it. But it's not getting a theatrical release, which I'm not going to the theater anytime soon. Not just because of the pandemic, but just in general. If they're all going to be coming out on HBO Max, why would I get up and go see a movie anywhere else? So, congratulations, Luca and Raya. You have delayed the first part of my One Piece review. And, yeah. Raya, 6 out of 10. Luca, or 6 out of 9. Luca, let's give it an 8 out of 9. It was really good. I don't necessarily know where Luca ranks among the other Pixar movies, because again, it's not, because like, how's that compared to Inside Out, Coco, and Soul? Because Inside Out, Coco, and Soul have like little aspects, do much more wrong. Luca has a much higher, I guess, floor. There are parts of those three movies where I'm like, it's not great. But like, then again, Inside Out, Coco, and Soul all made me cry. And were really emotional. So I think I'd put them, not above or below those three movies, but also not in the same tier as those two movies. It's called, like, adjacent. Trying to do something else, but in my opinion, just as good. Again, 8 out of 9. Thanks for watching. My next review will be the first 30 episodes of One Piece. And then eventually all the other parts of One Piece. So that's gonna take a while. Bye.